First scientist, dickbug. Other scientist, no. First scientist, penis beetle. Other scientist, no. First scientist, cockroach. Other scientist, yeah, okay, sure. So welcome to Shave&Butcher, finger licking good. Listen, it's been a while, it's been a few days, and I've been in Sevilla, in España, and this is what that looked like. Hey, so I find myself in Sevilla in English. So I thought I'd check if there's a barber, and at least there's a shop where you can buy barber products. So I got this one for €2, which we'll be trying out. Yeah, so shaver stuff shops, Cathedral is what you saw there. Very, very nice town. Lived close to the old town, walked around having tapas and beers, and beautiful. Really, really a nice experience, and the first time I've been there. But that's not why we're here. That's not what we're supposed to talk about today. Today is about a new razor in the den. Well, it's not new, but it's new to me. And that is the Plum, which will never get to focus, but that's what it says. The Plum Extra Hollow Ground, made by George Plum, on Dolphin Street in Bristol. So I know nothing about that maker, but I found it on Thayer, which is the Swedish subsidiary of eBay, and no, it wasn't. Yeah, it was Thayer. I thought it was pretty cool, nice looking. Looks like a good shaver. We'll find out if it is. It did need a bit of cleaning up, so I touched up on a few things. Looks to be in, or it is in, very nice condition. Hasn't been tampered with much, if anything, as far as I can see. No rust to speak of. A little bit there, easy to take off. So pretty cool. Needs a hone. It cuts hair pretty easily, but doesn't shave comfortably, obviously. What I don't like is the scales, which are plastic. It's okay if they're original, but they are crooked. I don't know if you can see that. They're bent, and bending those back is, albeit not impossible, really, really hard. So what I thought I'd do is I'd scrap the scales and use something else instead. And I have a lot of rubbish razors with blades I can't use. Here's one that might be okay, where the razor is nothing really, really poor condition, chipped. Could clean it up, but don't think I will. But the scales are rather nice. Wondering if they're horn or if they're wood. I'll have to take the pins out and see. But the idea is to put these onto that blade and then clean everything up, see what it looks like. So that's what we'll do. So everything came off nicely. Not always the case. What I do, by the way, is I drill a hole. This is a pin, right? That connects. The pin goes through both scales with the blade in the middle, and then you have washers, typically on both sides. So you can see that there. Well, and then the pin is peened out, hammered with a peen hammer, and mushrooms out over the washer, so it locks it in place. And they're hell to get off sometimes. So what I do is I use a normal drill. Don't do that. It's crap. But I don't have the proper thing, whatever it's called. And then a 1.5 millimeter drill bit, whatever it's called, because that is the diameter of the pin usually. So drill down, and then probably usually still doesn't come off, and then you can use a Dremel and stuff to sand it down, but you always damage things, or I do anyway. So I put in a slightly thicker drill bit. This is 5mm, just basically to take the larger washer off, and usually that works. So came off nicely. The blade confirmed is in good condition. The old scales I'll throw away. These are the ones I intend to use. Came off reasonably easy too. On a straight razor you always have a spacer, also called a washer, at the top. This will be lead, I think, so we'll just clean everything up and let's see where that takes us. So the blade cleaned up rather nicely. Now I don't know what is up and down in this video, sorry about that, but there it is. Didn't do a whole lot of work, but it's looking rather good. Scales too. They were really dull, so I put a bit of paraffin oil on them, which help and conditions the wood as well. So what we're going to do now is pin these together again, and you do that by using a rod of sorts. This is brass, so see if this works. Live TV. Put that through, then you put on a washer, a spacer, so that they glide more easily. Then you put on the blade, and finally the other scale, and then the take it apart. This thing will stick out just a little bit, about 1.5 millimeters. Then you put on another washer. So you can do this in many different ways. This is brass, so what I'll do is I'll put on a chrome colored stainless steel washer to get a bit of a color mix, and then with the use of a pin hammer, you pin it down together. Well, you put it on a piece of metal to make it solid, and the rod mushrooms over the washer so that it holds in place, and then when it's just tight enough so you can move the blade up and down, that's enough. And you do the same thing at the top or at the toe, but you put the wedge in, the lead spacer, same principle, same pinning, and then when it's all down you just polish up the metal, because it'll be a bit dull, so you polish it up so it's nice and shiny, and then that's it. And there we have it, cleaned up very nicely. Ended up doing brass washers and chrome pins. Rather nice, I think. So this shall be honed now, and then let's see if she can shave. Yep, and now let's see if she shaves properly. I realize I never really showed anything of when I actually did stuff just before and after, but one day maybe I'll make a do-up or restoration video. Need a good soap to confirm good performance, so the razor can be properly tested. It's gonna be old trustworthy Mitchell's Whole Fat, which tends to shrink in the bowl, so it looks like a brain. what you have to do before you use it when it's like that is bloom it for a while. Of course, we forgot to do that, so we'll have to manage anyway. The razor is that. The brush is the Paladin. I can't remember what it's called. The Winston Churchill Select Badger, handmade. Nice stuff. So try and get a bit of stuff on here. It'll do anyway. It shrinks, so if you leave it for a good while, it actually reabsorbs the water and fills the mug. You can see it, so you can't see it, but it's come away from the walls of the cup, and the cracks close and everything. But you don't have to bloom it at all. You'll get a bit of lather anyway, as you can see. Cool stuff. Face is prepped as per usual. I'm just gonna wet it. You got a few days of growth today. I've let it grow, thinking, is it beard time? And I decided it isn't, or at least not yet. Now I'm not sure I'm gonna get a beard. Getting massive opposition at home, but that's only motivation to do it. Because if you do something that pisses someone else off and you're not hurting anyone, why the heck not? But it's still warm outside, and I'm thinking more a winter beard. But we'll see. I'm not convinced. Might try and leave it for a week or two every once in a while to see how I feel like it. Also, that changes stuff up, right? So Mitchell's Wolfat with the scent, which is a mix of old sheep and cheap hotel soap from the English countryside. You know which soap I mean. If you've ever been to the English countryside. What? Say the people on the English countryside. What's he on about? I don't know. I think that will do just fine. When you use Mitchell's, you can get a big lather, but it's a very tiresome process and it gives me no extra pleasure, so screw that. So yeah, I just came home from Sevilla, and it was scary when I was going down, because I pretty much fainted on the plane. It's a scary place to faint. It all went white, and sweat broke out, cold sweat. I was soaking, and I don't think I lost consciousness, but I was pretty close. And then 10 minutes and I was back. Or I wasn't out, but the crazy stuff went away. Scary on a plane too. Okay, first use, really interesting. It's always so exciting to get a new razor in the den, as many of you know. This wasn't too expensive either. It was 30 euros, I think, the equivalent. Someone in the house is listening to some god-awful music. Sorry about that. It's actual ordinary pop music, but that can be pretty annoying. doing a fine job. I'm happy. I am happy. It's a nice looking razor too, isn't it? I haven't measured it, but that'd be about 6/8, I think. Oh, the volume was turned up. Brilliant. And rain from that side. Autumn is coming. It is not cold, but the leaves are starting to get yellow and red, and the rain is coming. Brilliant. Yeah, music-wise, there's a lot of hip-hop, rap music going on. And apparently if it isn't loud, it isn't music. Yeah, a really comfortable razor. Nice to hold. Those scales worked out fine. Bit on the small side, but yeah. Cool. So I'm gonna rinse and see what that feels like. Or rinse. I don't quite rinse, I just pretty much get a feel for where I'm at. And I'm at a good place. Okay, see if there's any juice left in this one. Yeah, that should do it. I wonder if Mr. Mitchell thought to develop a taste that really is like, well, okay, I've been out handling sheep all day. I come in, my hands are dirty, so I have to wash with a flowery scented soap. He's from Scotland now. Sorry. I do a shit poor Yorkshire accent. Mitchell's is from Bradford, which is in Yorkshire. But yeah, that's regardless of whether or not that was the scent he went for, that's the scent he got. Okay, real test of the razor, second pass against the green. Oh, piece of cake. Wow. Yeah. Shit, that's good. I didn't own this. Niklas Gudmundsson did. He's got a YouTube channel, by the way. He doesn't post much anymore. He used to quite a bit, but he's posted a few in modern time on honing. He's got the equivalent of a few cars worth of, the value of a few cars worth of natural Japanese honing stones. Can you hear it? It's a hollow razor. That sound is by no means a sign that a razor is any good. A hollow razor will do make that noise regardless if it's good or shit. But this one, being freshly honed of course, is pretty damn good. And you got one of the slickest soaps around to help out. It's maybe him playing. It's my son. He does play the guitar. Nice. Really nice. Shit. It is so nice. Having a good razor is, having a freshly honed one is such a joy. It's a joy you DE razor guys will never experience. Okay, fresh blade is a fresh blade, I know. But sometimes one doesn't even like the first cut with a new blade. Straight razor is always semi-religious. If I wasn't recording and he wasn't upstairs, I'd tell him to shut that damn thing off or at least turn it down. Can you hear it too? Hang on, just a sec. We're back. Okay. Oh, nice. Do the touch-up I've been doing recently to get to perfection, or thereabouts. Okay. There you go. Okay, let's see what that feels like. Gonna rinse down here. Fantastic. Fantastic. Of course, if you haven't shaved for 4 days, in my case, you get a much closer shave than if you shave every day. There's a big difference. Armblock. feel it, of course, because you always do, in spite of what those YouTube guys tell you. But not a lot. That was a clean shave, a really, 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 really good one. I appreciated that. It's such a pleasure to do up a razor. I mean, I didn't restore it, but I cleaned it up and got new scales on it, and that gives more pleasure when you shave. It really does. And some of the razors I use, I put a lot of work in. I mean, tens of hours to get rid of rust and scratches and stuff like that, and then it's like you're a baby. It's almost like you made it. Not quite. Gonna rinse the alum off. Nice. Beautiful. It is a pleasure to be clean shaven. It's a pleasure to have a big long beard too, but the path to that is very long. Thayer's original. One of the best scenting things out there, in my opinion. Oh. That is excellent. Thanks for watching. Appreciate it. See you soon and stay sharp.